Hi students, I hope you are all following my classes on YouTube channel Chemistry Mysteries. So today I come up with this topic chirality. Chirality is originated from a Greek word chair, which means handedness. Okay, we have two hands. So both, if you observe both the hands, they look like mirror images of each other, but they are not superimposable. If you place this hand on another hand, so they will not be superimposable. They are non-superimposable. So that means they are different. They are unique. Similarly, chirality means, let me give you a definition for chiral molecule. What is chiral molecule? A molecule, a molecule, a molecule which is not superimposable on its mirror image is known as a chiral molecule. A chiral molecule, and that molecule possess chirality. Okay, possess chirality. So this is the definition for a chiral molecule. Okay, a molecule which is not superimposable on its mirror image is known as a chiral molecule, and that molecule possess chirality. Okay, so here what about superimposable? Just I want to give you understand meaning of superimposable and mirror image. Okay, so both the terms you need to understand about this concept, a chiral molecule. Okay, what is superimposable? Superimposable means if you place suppose you take these two objects, and if you place this object on this object, if they match exactly, then that can be considered as superimposable. Okay, and suppose these are the two objects I took, and I place this object on top of this another object, so they will not be match exactly. That means they are non-superimposable. If they match exactly, they are superimposable. Suppose just you forget about this color, red color, but just both are same. Okay, now they are look like mirror images, and if you place this on this, so they are same. That means superimposable. Okay, superimposable, non-superimposable. Superimposable means if you keep any object, if you place any object on another object on top of the another object, if they match exactly, then that is called superimposable. Suppose if you place one object on the top of another object, if they did not match each other, they can be considered as non-superimposable. Okay, and mirror image, so if you keep any object in front of mirror, you will get the image in the mirror. Okay, so that is called mirror image, right? Suppose if you stand in front of a mirror, so you will get the exact image of you in the mirror. Okay, you will see the mirror. Okay, so that is called mirror image, right? So just try to understand the definition for chiral molecule. A molecule which is not superimposable on its mirror image is known as chiral molecule. Okay, that means, so that mirror image should not be superimposable on it. Suppose I'll give you this example. Okay, A, B, D, E. A, B, E, D. Okay. So these two are mirror images of each other, and when you take this image and if you place this image on the top of this image, this molecule, and what happens? So both are not will not be the same, because so when you place this molecule on top of this molecule, so so B and E will top on each other, and B and E on top on each other, A, D but same, but these two are not same. Okay, so that means they are not exactly same each other. Okay, so they are non-superimposable. Non-superimposable mirror images. Non-superimposable mirror images. Mirror images can be called as what? Enantiomers. Non-superimposable mirror images. Both the molecules are mirror images of each other, but when you place this one molecule on top of the another molecule, they are not exactly similar. Okay, they are not exactly same, that groups are different. Okay, so that means non-superimposable. So if all the groups are equal on each side, then that is called superimposable. But here the groups are different. So when you place one molecule on top of the another molecule, the groups are different. So therefore non-superimposable mirror images is known as a chiral molecule, and this condition is called chirality. This condition is called chirality. So I'll give you definition for chirality also. Okay, first you need to understand what is chiral molecule. A molecule which is not superimposable on its mirror image is known as a chiral molecule. So what is chirality? Chirality means the necessary and sufficient condition for existence of enantiomers. The necessary and sufficient condition is known as chirality. Okay, the necessary and sufficient condition for existence of enantiomers. Okay, so because of this condition, the molecule exists as enantiomers. Okay, enantiomers. What is enantiomers? Non-superimposable mirror images. Okay, non-superimposable mirror images are called enantiomers. Okay, so I'll give you some examples. I hope you understood. I hope you will understand the definition for chiral molecule and chirality. Okay, so chirality is nothing but the necessary and sufficient condition for existence of enantiomers. Okay, so I'll give you one example so that you will understand very well. So this is the lactic acid. The name of this compound is lactic acid, and OH, CH3 and H. When you observe these molecule, so this is the mirror image of this molecule. Okay, both are look like mirror images, but when you place this molecule on top of this molecule or this enantiomer, they are not same. Okay, they are not same. Okay, they are non-superimposable, imposable mirror images. Okay, so they are mirror images, but they are non-superimposable. So that's why these are considered as enantiomers. These are considered as enantiomers. Okay, so by the way, the central carbon, which is attached to 4 different groups or 4 different substitutions, is considered as chiral carbon. Okay, chiral carbon, or you can also tell that asymmetric center or asymmetric carbon. Okay, asymmetric carbon you can also consider as asymmetric carbon, chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. Suppose when a compound contains 4 different groups or atoms attached to a central carbon atom, that carbon is considered as chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. This molecule is asymmetric molecule. Both are similar words, just a little bit difference in between chiral and asymmetric carbons. Okay, but both are same. Okay, both are gives us same meaning. Okay, when a molecule contains 4 different groups or atoms attached to the central carbon atom, then that carbon atom is called chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. Okay, so what is now you know that chiral carbon. Now you learn that one is chiral carbon, chiral molecule, and another one is chirality. You know about chirality. Okay, then chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric carbon. Okay, so next let me explain you about achiral molecule or suppose a molecule is superimposable on its mirror image is known as achiral molecule. Achiral means that is not chiral. Okay, achiral means that is not chiral molecule. A molecule is superimposable. When a molecule is superimposable on its mirror image is known as achiral molecule. Achiral molecule means that is not chiral one. Okay, so I'll give you example about achiral molecule. Okay, so you need to know about this term achiral. which is not chiral. That means which is not chiral. Okay, so I'll give you this example. CH3, suppose you draw the mirror image of that molecule CH3. Okay, so this is the both are mirror images of each other. So when you place this mirror image on top of this molecule, you will get the same groups matches exactly. Okay, same groups matches exactly. Okay, on top of this hydrogen will come, on top of this hydrogen will be there, and on the COH you will get COH, and CH3 you will get CH3. Okay, exactly same. Okay, they are superimposable. Okay, so this one is superimposable imposable mirror image, superimposable mirror images called homomers. Non-superimposable mirror images are called enantiomers. Here superimposable mirror images is called homomers. Okay, so this is not a, this central carbon atom and this central carbon atom attached to 4 groups, but not all are different, both the hydrogens are same. Okay, so because of that it is not chiral carbon, it is achiral center, achiral carbon. This carbon is considered achiral carbon. In previous example you know about chiral carbon, where that carbon attached to 4 different groups or atoms around that center. But whereas here this carbon attached to not 4 different groups. Okay, both the hydrogens are same. Okay, so this is not a chiral carbon, this is achiral carbon, and this molecule is considered achiral molecule. That means it is not chiral. Okay, so superimposable mirror images are called homomers, and this carbon, the central carbon atom which is not attached to 4 different groups, can be achiral carbon, and this molecule can be considered as achiral molecule. Okay, so I hope you understand what is chiral molecule and what is achiral molecule. Okay, so you need to understand the difference between chiral molecule and achiral molecule, and chirality, you know about chirality, and what is chiral carbon and what is achiral carbon. Okay, so the main difference between chiral molecule and achiral molecule, the only difference, superimposability. Okay, so in chiral molecule, the mirror images are not superimposable with each other, but whereas in the case of achiral molecule, the mirror images are superimposable. So that is the difference you need to identify and observe in this explanation. Okay, so chirality, once again I want to remind you about chirality. Chirality is the necessary and sufficient conditions for existence of enantiomers. When there is a chirality, so there is there is the existence of enantiomers in that molecule. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. Okay, so why you need to know about these things? So let me give you some more examples so that you will understand. So CHO and OH and H and CH2OH. So this is the glyceraldehyde. the name of this molecule is glyceraldehyde. And the mirror image of this glyceraldehyde is CHO, OH and H, C2OH. Both are mirror images. So if you place this molecule on top of this molecule, so that they are not superimposable. Okay, so that's why they can be called as enantiomers. Okay, enantiomers. So this carbon center or this center can be considered as chiral center or chiral carbon. Okay, chiral center or chiral carbon. This molecule is considered as chiral molecule or asymmetric molecule. Okay, so you need to remember this terminology and the examples. So this is the another example about enantiomers or chiral molecules, right? So what is the use of learning about this chiral molecule and chirality and chiral carbon and asymmetric carbon or achiral? So where it can be applied? Okay, so actually chiral molecule, whether it is chiral molecule or not, how one can find out based on the optical activity. Okay, optical activity. Okay, what is optical activity? Optical activity is the ability to turn the plane of polarized light towards right or left by any substance is known as optical activity. Suppose a substance plane polarizer light. Let me explain you. So this is the plane polarizer light. Plane polarized light. So there is a source from this is the source of plane polarizer light. Okay, and if that plane polarizer light pass through this substance, this is the chemical substance or molecule. Okay, and if the plane polarizer light, if this molecule has the ability to turn the plane polarizer towards light or towards left, is known as optical activity. Okay, so I'll give you one statement. All chiral molecules are optically active. So that means all chiral molecules has the ability to turn the plane polarizer light towards right or left. Okay, generally in the case of enantiomers, so they turn equally but in opposite direction. Okay, so both the enantiomers, they can turn they have the ability to turn the plane polarizer light towards equally opposite. Say for example, so what I gave you the example in my first example. So this is the lactic acid and this is the enantiomer of lactic acid. Okay, suppose for example I am saying this configuration. So this configuration, that means, So if you find out the absolute configuration, this is 1 and this is 2 priority numbers, this is 3. Okay, and so if you connect the from lower to higher order, you will get here anti-clockwise rotation, anti-clockwise rotation. Okay, anti-clockwise. So that means R configuration, and this is S configuration. Okay, both are enantiomers, both are enantiomers. Just let me give you that example. So suppose this turn the plane polarizer light towards right with the about 23.1 degrees, and this turns exactly opposite direction, 23.1 degrees. Okay, like that. Okay, so that means this is the optical rotation value, alpha, specific rotation. Okay, specific rotation value is for this R conformer or enantiomer, it has plus 23.1. In the case of S enantiomer, it is minus 23.1. So that means both the enantiomers have the ability to turn the plane polarizer light equally. Okay, but in opposite direction, Okay, so you need to understand this one. Okay, so why I mentioned about optical activity in this class, because there is a relationship between chirality and optical activity. Okay, so if you want to find out the chirality, whether that molecule is chiral or not, so you can be measured with the optical activity. Suppose if that molecule rotate or turn the plane polarizer light, when the plane polarizer light passes through that molecule, then it is optically active, and that means it is chiral molecule. Only chiral asymmetric molecules can optically active. They are optically active. That means, so they turn the plane polarizer light either towards right or left. Okay, that you need to understand. Okay, so here I'll give you one statement. The majority of chiral molecules, the majority of chiral molecules the majority of optically active compounds, the majority of optically active compounds, contains one or more chiral carbons or chiral atoms, chiral centers. Okay, the majority of optically active compounds contains one or more chiral centers. That means, so chiral molecules are optically active. Okay, so the essential requirement of optical activity, the essential requirement for optical activity is the asymmetric molecule. Asymmetric molecule. Asymmetric molecule. What is asymmetric molecule? So a molecule where the central atom attached to 4 different groups or atoms, that is considered as asymmetric molecule. The another criteria to describe about asymmetric molecule, the absence of symmetry elements in a molecule is known as a asymmetric molecule. The molecule where the absence of all the symmetry elements is known as asymmetric molecules. What are the symmetry elements? Which I explained you in my previous class, okay, about axis of symmetry, simple axis of symmetry, simple axis of symmetry, simple axis of symmetry, plane of symmetry, plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, center of symmetry, alternating axis of symmetry, alternating axis of symmetry. So these are the symmetry elements, 4 kinds of symmetry elements. Suppose if all these 4 symmetry elements absent in a molecule, then that molecule considered as asymmetric molecule. Okay, so you need to understand about this. Okay, sometimes, okay, both the explanations you can keep in your mind. Suppose an atom, a central atom attached to 4 different groups or atoms, that can be considered as asymmetric molecule, and this is the accurate identification of asymmetric molecule. If any of these symmetry elements exist in a molecule, that molecule is not an asymmetric molecule. The asymmetric molecule means 4 asymmetric the symmetry elements, absence of these symmetry elements in that molecule is known as asymmetric molecule. Okay, suppose, so this is the tartaric acid, this is the tartaric acid, and the mirror image of this is like this, OH this side and H hydrogen that side, hydrogen and OH. So these both the tartaric acids are, okay, they are mirror images of each other and non-superimposable. They are non-superimposable mirror images. So therefore these are called enantiomers. And this molecule has 2 chiral centers or asymmetric centers. 2 chiral centers. This is one chiral center, this is another chiral center or chiral carbon. Okay, so because this central atom attached to 4 different groups, one is COH, another is OH, another one is H, and this is total group can be considered as one group. Okay, that means this central carbon atom attached to 4 different groups, this is asymmetric molecule. Okay, asymmetric or chiral molecule, chiral molecule. Okay, so and they are enantiomers, they will optically active and they rotate plane polarized light towards, one is towards right, another one is towards left. Okay, in equal opposite direction. So I'll give you another example. So this is mesotartaric acid, mesotartaric acid, COOH. Okay, suppose if I write the mirror image of this molecule, mirror images. So when you place this molecule, when you take out this molecule and place on this molecule, what happens? So you can rotate this into 180 degrees, 180 degrees rotation, and then superimposable, then superimposable on each other. So therefore these are not enantiomers, they are homomers. Okay, both are same. Okay, so both are same, and why it is these molecules are not optically active? Why? What is the reason? Because it has a symmetry element, plane of symmetry. So if you bisect through this middle, you will get the equal two half parts. Okay, so when you bisect this plane through this, okay, in the middle, you will get the two equal parts. So therefore this is optically inactive, optically inactive, and it is not, this is symmetric molecule, not asymmetric molecule, symmetric molecule. Why symmetric molecule? Because plane of symmetry, one symmetry element is called plane of symmetry exists in this molecule. Therefore it is optically inactive and it is considered as symmetric molecule, not asymmetric molecule. Okay, so that is the difference between asymmetric molecule and symmetric molecule. Okay, asymmetric molecule and symmetric molecule. So here in this case, this molecule has two chiral centers. Okay, two chiral centers. Here it is also a chiral center because this center attached to four different groups. It has a chiral center but optically inactive because of plane of symmetry. So this is not asymmetric molecule, this is symmetric molecule. Okay, so these are the things you need to keep in your mind to study about chirality and chiral molecules, and to understand about optical activity. Okay, generally in chemistry to measure the concentration or enantiomer ratio, enantiomeric ratio, need optical activity or optical activity. So why we need optical activity? What is the use of optical activity or optical rotation? To measure the concentration and enantiomeric ratio. Suppose a compound exists as enantiomers, and you pass the plane polarized light through that compound. That compound contains two enantiomers. if you pass the plane polarized light through that compound, suppose the enantiomer ratio will be find out. Suppose RS, okay. So what is the R enantiomer and what is the ratio of S enantiomer? So that means 70-30, like that. That means if this is the result, that means in that compound S enantiomer is 30%, R enantiomer is 70%, okay. Enantiomeric ratio or the concentration. Suppose if the compound has pure 1 enantiomer, it gives 100% concentration, okay. So that means it is pure, it contains only single enantiomer in that compound. So that kind of information can be find out with this optical activity, okay. So I hope you all understand about chiral molecule and chirality, what is chiral carbon and what is achiral molecule and what is achiral molecule, and what is symmetry molecules, asymmetric molecules, and what is optical activity, and what is the relationship between optical activity and chirality and asymmetric, okay. I explained all those important concepts in this class, and finally I am going to explain you about desymmetrization. Okay. Desymmetrization means, what is the desymmetrization? Symmetry means there are 4 kinds of symmetry elements, okay. Simple axis of symmetry, plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, and alternating axis of symmetry. So there are 4 kinds of symmetry elements, okay. If any molecule contains any symmetry element, if you remove that symmetry element, and it can be converted as asymmetric, and that process is called desymmetrization. Okay. So say for example, CH3 C2H5 Let me give you a simple example. X, Y, H, H. Okay. So this is the symmetric molecule. It has plane of symmetry, right? And what happens in the process of desymmetrization? Z can be replaced hydrogen. Okay. Z, hydrogen replaced with Z. Okay. Then what will be formed? X, Y, Z, hydrogen. Another one is X, Y, hydrogen and Z. Okay. So that means this symmetry molecule, okay, it is symmetric molecule or achiral molecule because it does not have 4 different groups in this, and when you replaced these hydrogens with the Z substitution, you will get both the possibilities of one is right side, another one is left side. So both can be considered as enantiomers. Okay. So this is the process called desymmetrization. That means here the plane of symmetry exists in this molecule, and with this process, the plane of symmetry has been removed from this molecule. Therefore, this is called desymmetrization. Okay. So the definition for desymmetrization is the process of eliminating symmetry elements eliminating symmetry elements from a chiral molecule to convert chiral molecule to convert into a chiral molecule. Okay, the process of eliminating symmetry elements, that means what are the symmetry elements? It may be simple axis of symmetry, it may be plane of symmetry, it may be center of symmetry, it may be alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, the process of eliminating symmetry elements from an achiral molecule. So this is achiral molecule, and to convert into a chiral molecules. Okay, so if you want to convert this achiral molecule into a chiral molecule, okay, so you need to eliminate the symmetry elements which are exist in that molecule, achiral molecule. This process is called desymmetrization. Okay, so I hope you will understand all these things. Okay, I'll give you one example for this. Suppose if you substitute this tartaric this acid, lactic acid, if you convert lactic acid like this, so what happened? So this is the symmetric molecule, symmetry, because the plane of symmetry is there. If you can divide this molecule into two equal parts, so therefore there is a plane of symmetry in this molecule, and that plane of symmetry element eliminated by substituting one of the hydrogen from hydroxyl group and converted this into chiral molecule, and this is achiral molecule. So the process of eliminating symmetry elements from an achiral molecule and convert into chiral molecule is known as desymmetrization. Okay, desymmetrization. So I hope you will understand this class very thoroughly. Okay, so you need to remember all the things. Okay, so you need to understand about chiral molecule and what is chirality and what is achiral and what is asymmetric and what is optical activity and what is desymmetrization. So all these terminology is very important in stereochemistry. So I suggest you to please go through this class, and also you can, if you have time and interest, you can go through various books on this topic, and so you should become thorough in this terminology. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my class, and I want to tell you that just you can if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can subscribe today so that you will get the latest uploaded classes, and you can avail them. You will get also notifications, right? And once you listen this class, so why don't you place your feedback on this class? Okay, so that will give us a lot of encouragement, and so I'll make better classes in the next classes. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.